Hello, everybody. Here we are again with my Millennium Falcon build videos. Uh, this was kind of an ask by a few people so that they could kind of catch up and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to kind of do this review just to show uh, just parts that maybe I've done quite a while ago, like starting off with the cockpit that was a year ago. And so be able to show those things and do it in a way that you could catch up and see everything, maybe see it again, what have you, and see what the end results are. So this here is what the cockpit would look like standard out of the box if you put it together. And then this part here is where if you were to put the framework or the shell on it with the lights in the back, that's what it would look like. So that's what it would have looked like, but let's go ahead and have a look at what I did do, and then we'll look at the final results at the end. Here's our first steps. So the first steps are going to be putting this sticker onto this back piece. Let's see. There we go. So there's our first part. Very first thing I've done is put this together. Okay. This comes out, and that's going to give us the back panel. And this is all attached here. And this is the door for the back. But there you go. So now you have part of the cockpit, and just make sure it's all in place there, and it's in there pretty good. We are actually going to put them into, you can see the holes there. It's in there. And if we wanted to, just to make sure, a little touch here, a little touch there, and that will help kind of hold it in place. There's that. It goes on with the control yokes in place. So I'll spin those back to where they need to be. Sound's already set up. So here we are, and we've got leather and wood. All right. So wood, I think we'll skip on that for right now. Okay, so see if we can kind of, okay, so that's fairly brown, but then you compare it with this one. Majority of the silver is going to be, it's just pigment anyway. I mean, it's all pigment, but it's the metallic part. So we have one that has the silver dry brushed and one that doesn't. And the question is, can you tell the difference? There's the handles. It's very subtle, I think. So, I've got these seats. We are going to try to touch these up. So there's a couple of different things I'm going to do. I want to do a wash, a dark wash. That's the thing. I don't want it to dry weird. So, like I said, we're just going to kind of let that dry. When you're dry brushing, like I said, you're just going to put it on and then wipe most of it off. Remember what it looked like before. Completed everything, and here it is. No. So, okay, so here is what the um, stock cockpit would look like if you did it by stock. And here is my cockpit so far. So you'll notice I went ahead and painted, I did some dry brushing to bring out all the highlights there. So if you look at those side by side, you can see the difference there. I painted this control here. Also, I did some dry brushing there to make it look like they rub on that a lot to get to their seats. So the seats are all glued in. These yokes are all glued in here. I painted around the edges of the sticker, so you can't really tell where the edge of the sticker is now. Just as an example. Okay, let's get our little dilly bobber here. So we're going to start with our pseudo copper color. I actually think that's probably enough color. We don't need a lot. We just don't want it plain Jane, you know? That just goes right up It fits right up to the front of the thing there. So we have these, and these are part of the cockpit. They're going to go along the sides where the seats are, and we're actually going to paint these up to be something different than what these are. I've looked, and the book doesn't show you, the magazine doesn't show you anything, but I've done a lot of looking on images online and stuff, and basically, I can tell you they didn't look like this. And here you'll see two of the pictures that I found on the internet for the Falcon cockpit. They're different and they're okay. I'm going to use these for inspiration for my model. Okay, so now we're ready to do some dry brushing. And we'll start off with the blue, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm just gonna all right. Well, that I think will be good. That's all the. Supposed to be a little red up here someplace around this inside, but there's no hole there to color it, so I won't worry about that. I kind of finished some of this off of camera, so what you can see here is so you can see like this little black dot. I added that to kind of make it look like a control. I did some some of the dry brushing and other stuff like that. I kind of added some of that stuff in there, and then on this side I added some controls, just little black dots, and a little bit of dry brushing there as well, up in there. So just kind of added a little bit here and there just to kind of um, you know finish it up. Welcome back, everybody. So this is nearly dry. I figured we might as well go and put these side panels on so we can all see it for ourselves. And now we have the front part of the cockpit. Like I said, putting together a cockpit, not going to worry about it just yet. But what we are going to do is do these parts. And so when this goes on, it's going to go something like this. All right. So now what we need to do is we're going to take these off of the sprue. We got our hyperdrive controllers in place. That's pretty cool, ain't it? All right, so there is the reminder of everything that I've done, the review of everything that I've done to get to this point. Now let's go ahead and look at the final product, all put together and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. But before we do, let's just real quick remind you what the stock images look like. And then we'll go into the review of what the final product, well, it's not completely final, but final to this point product. And here we have the cockpit. And as we can see, this has been custom painted. And we can see all of the details of everything that's been custom painted. We've painted the handles on the yokes and the flight yokes, and we've custom painted the side panels. All of the seats have been custom painted. We've dry brushed and detailed the center console, and we've custom painted the front mechanical pieces as well. And so let's see what this looks like when it's put together. And here we can see the finished product of the cockpit with the lights on the back. And you can tell how the additional color and the transparent coloring that I put on really helps those colored lights stand out and really helps them pop. So if I had not done that, then those would be very muted. The lights I don't think will be this bright after everything's connected, just because of the fact that um, there's going to be other things plugged in and the other lights turned on and that kind of stuff. So that right now this is taking all of the juice from the batteries, so it makes it extra bright. But I don't believe it's going to be this bright when it's all said and done. So this is pseudo done. There's going to be a little bit of touch-up work and some putty and that kind of stuff to fill everything in, but that is the finished cockpit. Now, if you compare that to what was in the image, and I'll pop that up here, then you'll be able to tell that substantially it's different. So there you go. All right, so that is the review of the cockpit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It helps some people get caught up, helps you guys remember where we all started in this little adventure, and now we can see where a lot of the effort's been, and hopefully I'm getting better at what I'm doing, but I guess only time will tell. So again, hopefully you enjoyed that, and I plan on doing more of these as we move forward, reviewing some of the stuff that's been completed, and I think probably the next thing that we'll do will probably be uh, the main cargo hold, which will be substantial. Might take a couple review videos for that, unless I do an extra long one. So, again, thanks very much, everybody, for watching, and may the force be with you always.